Shut up and sit down.
10 lines on World Refugee Day for kids, children, school students and competitive exams in English. Set 1. 10 lines on World Refugee Day for kids. The first step is for the students of classes 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Number 1. World Refugee Day is celebrated every year on 20th June to remember the struggles faced and contributions made by refugees around the world. Number 2. There are around a total of 70.8 million people in the world spending their lives away from their homes as refugees. Number 3. The most common reasons why people flee their native place are war, persecution, and terror, due to which they have to leave their homes and find shelter elsewhere. Number 4. The 1951 Refugee Convention and the protocols that came into effect in 1967 protect the refugees' rights worldwide. Number 5. The rights state that the refugees are to be treated in the same manner as the other foreign nationals and nationals of the country. Number 6. World Refugee Day is an international observation made to serve as a reminder and not as a public holiday. Number 7. The logo used to symbolize the day is of either white on blue background or blue on white background, featuring an olive branch to depict peace surrounding two hands protecting a person figure. Number 8. The principle of non-foulement is the core governing principle which states that any refugee should not be forced to return to the country where he faces a severe threat to his or her life. Number 9. The countries facing severe refugee crisis include Syria 6.6 million refugees, Afghanistan 2.7 million refugees, South Sudan 2.2 million refugees, Myanmar 1.1 million refugees, and Somalia 0.9 million refugees, among others. Number 10. The longer the refugee stays in a host country, the more rights he or she requires to spend a normal life, which includes the right to education, housing, movement, etc. Set 2. 10 lines on World Refugee Day for school children. The second set is for the students of classes 6, 7 and 8. Number 1. Our world is suffering from a refugee crisis as millions of refugees have to forcibly leave their homes due to war, exploitation, terrorism and persecution. Number 2. To honor these people and the difficulties they face, the United Nations General Assembly observes 20th June as World Refugee Day, which coincides with the African Refugee Day, which was commonly regarded as World Refugee Day before the Resolution 55 by 76 passed in the General Assembly in the year 2000. Number 3. The observation is made to remember the sacrifices and the contributions made by various refugees worldwide who have been displaced from their homes and forced to find shelter in other countries. Number 4. The refugees are protected by the 1951 Refugee Convention and the 1967 Protocol, which lays down the guidelines that every refugee is to be treated in the same manner as the other foreign nationals and people residing in the country. Number 5. The principle of refoulement acts as the cornerstone in protecting the refugees' rights and states that a refugee should not be forced to return to the country where he faces a serious threat to his or her life except if the refugee is a threat to the country or community. Number 6. Other rights granted to a refugee include the right to housing, the right to not be punished for illegal entry into the state, the right to work, education, public relief and assistance, access to courts, right to be issued identity, and freedom to travel. Number 7. The 2020 theme says every action counts. It is a positive message that was spread to allow the world to become a more inclusive place for everyone. It urges people to do whatever small part they believe will help the refugees. Number 8. Every year, UNHCR and many civic groups observe World Refugee Day, draw people's attention towards refugees, plight, and standing together demanding better treatment of refugees and protesting against the inhumane behavior faced by some refugee groups. Number 9. Refugees also face internal displacement when they find shelter away from their homes in their own country. These are called IDPs or internally displaced persons. Number 10. Refugees that return to their homes require constant assistance to help them through the trauma faced by them. They need financial and institutional aid to lead a new and better life. Set 3. 10 lines on World Refugee Day for higher class students. The third set is for the students of classes 9, 10, 11 and 12. Number 1. World Refugee Day, celebrated every year on 20th June, is a reminder to all of us that our world is an inclusive place where every person has a right to live his or her life with dignity, justice and safety. Number 2. This day is an international observation made by the UNHCR, United Nations Refugee Agency, to applaud the refugees' contributions and a reminder of the struggles they face every day worldwide. Number 3. The UNHCR was established to protect and help the Europeans displaced in World War II, but has been working ever since to protect refugees' rights worldwide. Number 4. According to UN reports, around 70.8 million people are displaced from their homes due to war, persecution, disasters, and terrorism. Number 5. The Syrian refugee crisis has seen approximately 6 million people displaced from their native places since the war erupted in 2001. These places have found shelter in the neighboring countries or the different regions of the country. Number 6. Among the total number of refugees, around 30 million are under the age of 18, which is a major concern as these young individuals are deprived of the fundamental right to education. Number 7. The day is observed to mobilize political support and resources to address the global concerns worldwide who have been denied nationality and access to fundamental human rights such as education, healthcare, employment, and freedom of speech and movement. Number 8. Each year, it is celebrated with a central theme in mind to spread light on refugees' issues, and the theme for this year, Every Action Counts, spreads awareness to make our world one unified place where every person feels safe. Number 9. The rights to refoulement apply to every refugee, which states that the refugee should not be forced to return to the country where he faces a life threat. Number 10. Various philanthropists and communities working for the safety and betterment of refugees such as IRC, International Rescue Committee, conduct multiple activities.